Good morning, everyone. We are going to continue with chapter number 5, study of design patterns. Today, we are going to revise the first session again. First, we will see the creational patterns. In last sessions, we have seen about creational patterns, what pattern is, what are design patterns. So, from that, we are going to see creational pattern. So, creational design patterns are design patterns that deals with object creation mechanism. These patterns deals with object creation mechanism, trying to create objects in a manner suitable for the situation. Based on the software design situations, we are going to create the object for that design. That is creational pattern. So that creational pattern includes factory method pattern, abstract factory, singleton, builder and prototype pattern. Okay. So first we will see factory method pattern. So what is the intent of that pattern? It allows to create objects without specifying their class. This factory method pattern allows to create objects without specifying their class. Without specifying their class, we are going to create the object. That means method whose main goal is to create a class instance. So these are some applications of that factory method pattern. A class cannot anticipate the type of objects it must create. That is framework. For that framework application, we can use the factory method pattern. A class wants its subclasses to specify the type of object it creates. Whenever we are going to specify whenever subclasses are going to specify the type of objects that are going to be created by that classes, that time we can use this pattern. A class needs controls over the creation of its objects. Whenever class is going to control that created object by that class, that time we can use this pattern. So here you can see without object creating objects without specifying their class. Here you can see here class A depends on B. Here we are not going to specify that class B, but we are going to create the object for that class B. Here you can see B, then object name, and we are going to allocate the memory for that object. Here you can see. What is the statement here? A depends on B. Here we can Here we have not defined or not declared the class B. Sorry, class B. That is factory method pattern. Here you can see the structure of factory method pattern. Here client is there. Client uses the interface product and asks for a new object.
राज
आवाज नहीं येते?
मला सगळं येतोय तुला सारखं.
So this is client pattern. Sorry, this is the client. Client uses the interface product. It will Client will ask for a new object for class factory. Here you can see when to use that factory method pattern. When a framework delegates the creation of objects derived from a common superclass to the factory. When we need flexibility in adding new types of objects, at that time we can use this pattern. Here you can see the example product factory class. Here we are going to use or we are going to create the new object for that product factory, concrete product, or it uses the interface product here. The next pattern is singleton pattern. The intent of this pattern is we want to have only one instance of the class. Whenever we are going to create only one instance of that class, we can use this singleton pattern. We can use static here. Then application of this pattern. It instantiate an object. It can instantiate an object that can take time and memory. In this type of application, we can use singleton pattern. Then we only need one instance. Whenever we need only one instance, at that time we use singleton pattern. When to use this pattern? When we must ensure that only one instance of class is created. Whenever only one instance of that class is created, that time we can use singleton pattern. And when the instance must be available through all the code, when that instance or that object is available throughout the code, that time we can use singleton pattern. Or in multi-threading environment, we can use singleton pattern for accessing that single thread from multiple resources. Here you can see the structure of singleton pattern. Here, Singleton implementation, singleton class is there. We are going to create that instance of that class, only one instance. And this is recursive call here. You can see the recursive call for the object itself. Here you can see here class singleton is there. Private static singleton instance. We are going to use static here for that instance, and we are going to implement that method for that class. Okay. This is all about singleton pattern here. This is the structure of singleton pattern. The recursive call is there. We are going to create only one instance of that class. Instance of that class singleton. Here you can see. This is the implementation of that structure. Class singleton, then private static singleton instance. Here you can see. This is the attribute singleton instance. Then private singleton. Private method is there. Then public static synchronized singleton get instance. Here you can see we are going to implement that public method get instance. If that instance is equals to null, instance is equals to new singleton. We are going to all create that instance for that class. Only one instance for that class here. The next pattern is builder pattern. So it defines an instance for creating an object, but letting subclasses decide which class to instantiate. It defines that instance for creating an object. In builder pattern, it defines instance for creating that object, but subclasses are there who can decide which instance should start first or which class will be instantiated. It allows finer control over the construction process. Here you can see the structure of builder pattern or example for the builder pattern. Here text converter class is there. Then RTF reader. RTF reader is a composition of text converter class. Then it associated with document. Then ASCII converter. It is the generalization from text converter class and it is associated with ASCII text. Okay, here you can see the abstract builder. These are the part of builder pattern. First is abstract builder. Here text converter is the abstract class, class abstract, class text converter. This is the abstract class and these are the abstract method and abstract types. Okay, abstract attributes. Here you can say abstract void character converter, character tree, abstract void convert paragraph method. This is the abstract class here, text converter, that is abstract builder. Then next one is product. Product in builder pattern, that is ASCII text. Here you can see the ASCII text. It is having method append. Okay, this is the ASCII text class, that is product for that builder pattern. Then next one is concrete builder. That is, this is the concrete builder. This is the abstract builder. This is the product. This is the concrete builder. Class ASCII converter. This class is extended from class ASCII converter extends from text converter class. Here you can see. Then we are going to create ASCII text object here. Here you can see resulting product ASCII text. This class is associated with ASCII converter class, so that we can, so that's why we can create objects of that ASCII text here, that is resulting product. Then we are going to implement that method from that text converter and ASCII converter class. This is concrete builder. Okay, this is the product class. This is the abstract class here. Then class document. This class abstract the document object. We are going to create the object for the document class. This is abstract object or abstract the document object here. That is class document and implementation of that class. Okay. Then director. That is this class, director class. Class RTF reader. We are going to implement this class. This is the composition of text converter. In this, here you can see private static final character end of file is equals to 0. This is delimiter for the end of file here. Then we are going to implement the attributes and methods from this RTF reader. Here you can see the text converter class, text converter and object for that text converter. That is builder. Then RTF reader. RTF reader, an object of text converter object we are going to call here in class RTF reader. That is, this class is composition of text converter class. Okay. Then we are going to implement the method of RTF reader class, that is director class. Then next one is client class. To client class, we are going to call all the objects and their classes here. Here public class client, then void create ASCII text. Here you can see the document doc. That is the abstract object of that document class. Okay. Then ASCII converter, then object of that ASCII converter class, then RTF reader and objects of that RTF reader class, then RTF reader dot parse RTF. Here you can see the method of RTF reader class, so that we can call document object of that document or abstract document class here. Then ASCII text class, then object of that class. Through that we are going to call the get result method of that ASCII text class. Okay. This is all about your client class. In that we are going to call all the classes and their objects and methods through that objects. Okay. This is all about builder pattern. So when to use that builder pattern? When the creation algorithm of a complex object is independent from the parts that actually compose the object, and when the system needs to allow different representation for the different objects that we are going to build, that time we can use builder pattern for complex objects that are independent, or then system needs to allow some different representation for that objects, that time we are going to use builder pattern. Then what is builder and factory? These are similar. That builder pattern is similar to the factory pattern. That factory is, it is the client uses the factory's method to create its own object. In factory pattern, the client uses the factory methods to create its own object, and in builder pattern, the builder class is instructed on how to create the object, and then it is asked for it. When in builder pattern, that builder class is instructed on how to create the object, and it is asked for it. Whenever it will be asked that when to create that object for that builder class, but the way that the class is put together is up to the builder class. Okay, it depends on builder class where to create the object for that class. Okay. Then next one is structural pattern. Okay, so the previous part is creational pattern. In that we have seen the singleton pattern, then builder pattern and factory method pattern. Okay, so these are three patterns in creational patterns. Then next part is structural pattern. That structural pattern is design patterns, that is the design by identifying a simple way to realize relationship between entities. Okay, so design pattern that the design by identifying a simple way to realize relationship between entities. In structural patterns, we are going to identify or realize the relationship between the entities. Okay, then the structural patterns are concerned with how classes and objects are composed to form larger structure. How that classes and objects are composed to form larger structures. That's your structural class pattern. Structural class pattern uses inheritance. Remember, structural class pattern use inheritance to compose interfaces or implementation. To compose interfaces and implementation, that structural class pattern uses inheritance. Similarly, the object pattern. The structural object pattern describes number of ways to compose objects to realize new functionality, or the added flexibility of object composition comes from the ability to change the composition at runtime, which is impossible with static class composition. Yes, structural pattern includes structural class pattern and object pattern. In structural class patterns, Structural class patterns, we are going to use inheritance to compose interfaces or implementations. Then in structural object patterns, we are going to use, or there are different ways to compose objects to realize new functionality. So the structural pattern includes proxy, decorator, packet, adapter, aggregate, and bridge. So that's it for today's session. Thank you.